Hey, John here, just another old soul. Well, how's it going, everybody? Well, it's Thursday, July 23rd, another 2020, another COVID day. But I decided I'd try to make this video and share with you guys how my life's gotten better during this time. So, I've maybe seen some of my other videos where I talked about the fact that when this first thing hit back in March, I was one night during my meditation time, I just had this conversation with God, and we all pray to God outside of us. Actually, God's inside of us, but so I had this talk with God inside of my head, or inside of me. If you're going to give me all this time to improve myself, well, show me what it is I should try to learn or pay attention to. And so, in addition to studying reconnective energy healing and learning to feel the frequency that's out there, I've since learned from other spiritual entities that the magnetic grid on this planet has shifted a couple years ago. In fact, you maybe remember how they had to change the markings on the runways because the grid actually shifted that far that the numbers changed, and the numbers have to be accurate so pilots can fly properly. And also, you may remember a couple years back, some of the whales and some of the dolphins were beaching themselves, and rescuers would go out and save them and get them unbeached, and they go and beach themselves again, and we didn't know why. Well, it turns out that they geolocate by a magnetic frequency. All whales and dolphins do that, and because the magnetic grid had changed and nobody had given them the heads up, they were running into problems that they didn't, weren't aware, weren't used to. And now the newer generations of babies that have come along, they understand the grids move. Their moms taught them the routes to go, and everything's good again. But when that grid changed, so did the energy that was available to us as human beings changed. So many healers and shamans and people in the past that have done healing, all of a sudden they find it's not working anymore. It's like their gifts are gone, and they're not gone. It's just that the frequency has changed. And the magnetic grid changed in order to promote the evolution of human consciousness. Apparently, our consciousness and the evolution of our consciousness is related to the magnetic grid of the planet, and by shifting it increased the magnetic field so that we will be able to receive more gifts and be attuned to a newer frequency. And it turns out that the reconnective energy healing that I studied with Eric Pearl happens to be that new frequency. And so anybody can learn to use to bring that frequency in with their hands and enjoy the benefits of feeling those frequencies. And that's one way that you can improve your life. You can have a reconnective healing where you get one session and you get exposed to the frequencies, and they'll do in your body what they're supposed to do. And it's energy, light, and information that we're bringing through with these frequencies. And your body will function better. You'll think more. You'll think better. I have a better quality of life because of being introduced to frequency. And then I've since gone on to study more and listen to other spiritual teachers. And one of them was a channeler, was channeling with Cryon at Lee Carroll, and this gentleman channeled being able to learn how to talk to your smart body or talk to your inner physician. So most of you are aware that our body kind of runs on automatic pilot. I don't know if you've ever been on the phone and driven home, and you get home and you finish your conversation and go, I didn't even remember saying how I drove home. Well, it's because your subconscious takes over and you do it automatically. Well, the human body is designed to eat, drink, and excrete kind of automatically. Many of us have been totally unconscious about it, especially when we're kids. We just eat what we want and drink what we want, and sooner or later we find out certain things make us feel sick and certain things make us feel better, and so we drift more to those things that make us feel better. But what if you could talk to your body? What if you could ask your body what it really wanted you to eat? Or what if you didn't feel one? You could say to your body, do I need to go to the hospital? Do I need to go to see a doctor? Am I okay? and it is possible to be able to do that. Now, some of the original forefathers of this were people that developed muscle testing, or what they call applied kinesiology. And you can do that even for yourself. You can say, hold your fingers up and say, give me a yes. And a yes means you can't put your fingers together. You say, give me a no, you can put your fingers together. So then you say to yourself, well, should I take vitamins every day? Are vitamins good for me? And so me, yes, I can't put my fingers together. Now, is it good for me to drink a bunch of Coca-Cola? No, of course not. So it's a no. So you can do this in the beginning and just learn how to open and close your fingers and muscle test and ask your body questions, and you'll get answers, and you'll know better what you should be doing. And I've taken that a step further, where what I did was what this channel said to do was every night in the shower, give your body a hug your body. You're in your shower, give it a hug. Say, I love you, body. Thank you for all you've been doing for me all these years, body. Thank you for helping me to get this far in my life. Thank you for everything you allowed me to do in my life. For me, I've been a dentist for 40 years, and I use my back and my hands and everything else, and so I'm very, very grateful for my body and my eyes, and to be able to practice that profession and help all the people that I've helped. But after doing this exercise, telling my body I loved it, I don't know, it's probably maybe 6 weeks, maybe a month, 2 months almost. All of a sudden, I asked my body a question one night, and my eyes blinked twice, and I since learned that was my body's way of giving me the yes. And if it blinks once, that's a no. So now all I gotta do is say to my body. In fact, I did this the other day. I take supplements, I take vitamins, and I recently, because of my reconnective energy healing, I've mentioned before, I've lost a bunch of weight, and I'm no longer diabetic, so I no longer take metformin. I don't take glipizide anymore. I stopped taking Simvastatin. I stopped taking my blood pressure medicine. I don't need any of that stuff. And so now I ask my body, and one thing I do have, I have an absorption problem with iron, so I don't absorb iron well. So I take an iron supplement. I take 2. And, at night when I'm doing my vitamins, I'll say 1, 2, 1, 2, and my body will tell me how much it wants. And sometimes I'm exercising and I don't feel well, and so I stop and I say, do I need to eat something? Am I running calories? Do you want me to eat yogurt? Do I need to eat, an apple? And when I go out to eat, I used to just pick what I thought in my head was going to be good for me to eat. Now I consult my innate, your inner physician. It's also called your innate. If you listen to Cryon, he calls it your innate. Some people call it your smart body. Some people call it your inner physician. I'm inclined to call it your inner physician because I think that sounds a little less spooky wooky to people. But nobody taught us this as kids. I mean, our parents didn't know this stuff, and it's slowly becoming out. And I've just sort of woken up to this and tried to do things I'm an old guy. If I can start doing this stuff, anybody can start doing this stuff. It's not hard. So all I do is tell my body that I loved it every night in the shower. Once in a while, when I was doing meditation, I'd tell it I loved it. And after about 2 months, my body started answering me back. The channel said, you'll feel your body give you a hug, but I didn't really feel that. Mine I just started communicating, and now I figured out a way to do yes and no questions in order to communicate. It's not easy. Your body can't talk to you. It can talk to you if you learn how to listen to it. That's the other thing, is that I've learned to get more intuitive messages in my brain. And supposedly we have to use our pineal gland in our brain in order to open that up so that we can receive messages, from the matrix, from the field that connects us all. And the more that I meditate, the more that I pay attention, the more that I'm able to be more intuitive. And intuition comes in fast. It comes in real fast, real quick. I remember one day I was walking someplace, and I always have a lot of chatter in my head. I said to myself, what's one thing I really should be doing? And I heard myself say, shut up. In other words, don't do the in mind chatter all the time. Be quiet. Listen. We're so busy entertaining ourselves or having a running dialogue in our head about what's going on in our day that we don't pay attention to what the universe is trying to make aware to us that we need to be doing, or that we need to know about, or trying to give us a warning, or those intuitions come in really fast and really quick. And what I've learned to say it to my body is, could you repeat that, please? I sometimes don't get these things real quick, or I get them and I forget them because of my age. But the more that I focus on them, the easier it is to be able to let them in. So that's about enough me babbling here for one day. I love you guys. If you don't like what I have to share, please, turn me off. There's plenty of guys on their YouTube. But my goal is just to reach some people that maybe wouldn't listen to somebody else, because I'm just an average Joe Schmo, down to earth, working stick like everybody else. So I love you. Peace. Hang in there. Times are going to get better. There's a saying that says, if it's not okay, it's not over. And it's not okay yet, so it must not be over. All right. Love ya. Bye.